Most professional services organizations don't struggle because of strategy. They struggle because the way work actually flows through the organization is unclear, implicit, or inconsistently understood. Work enters through conversations, emails, and meetings. Ownership is assumed instead of defined. Decisions are made, but not always translated into a clear operational path. At smaller scale, this often goes unnoticed. People compensate, experience fills the gaps, but as organizations grow, this becomes expensive. Execution slows, accountability diffuses, and leadership loses visibility into how value is actually created. This isn't a people problem, and it isn't a technology problem. It's an operating model issue, one that most organizations have never explicitly examined. The challenge with workflows is that they're rarely designed. They evolve. They form through habit, precedent, and informal agreement. Over time, they become how things work without ever being made explicit. From the outside, the organization appears busy, work gets done, clients are served, but underneath there's friction. Work is interpreted differently by different teams. Ownership shifts depending on context. Decisions rely on individual judgment instead of shared structure. Because nothing is obviously broken, nothing is formally assessed. When organizations sense this friction, they often respond in predictable ways. They introduce new tools. They launch transformation initiatives. They invest in automation and increasingly in AI. These responses are understandable, but without first understanding how work actually flows, they rarely deliver the expected return. Not because the tools are ineffective, but because they're applied to workflows that are poorly understood. Automation accelerates execution, and AI accelerates pattern recognition. Neither resolves ambiguity around ownership, prioritization, or decision-making. Without assessment, optimization is guesswork. Assessing workflows does not mean assuming something is broken. It means making work visible. Understanding what work enters the organization, how it is classified, who owns it, how it moves, where decisions are made, and how completion is defined. In some organizations, this assessment confirms that workflows are sound and ready to be supported by AI. In others, it reveals gaps, unclear handoffs, overlapping accountability, decision bottlenecks, informal workarounds carrying too much risk. Only at this point can leaders make an informed choice. Do we need clarification, formalization, redesign, or are we ready to automate? Workflow redesign is not always required, but when it is, it becomes the highest leverage intervention available. Redesign is about intent, making ownership explicit, designing how work should move, not how it happened to evolve, aligning decisions with execution paths. When this work is done well, complexity doesn't disappear, but it becomes manageable. Leadership regains visibility, teams gain clarity, and scale becomes predictable instead of fragile. Only after workflows have been assessed, and where necessary refined, does AI become genuinely valuable. Not as a replacement for judgment, but as a multiplier of structure. AI can reduce friction, surface patterns, accelerate handoffs, support consistency, but it can only work with what already exists. AI does not create clarity, it scales it. Applied to well-understood workflows, it compounds leverage. Applied to unstructured workflows, it compounds confusion. AI is not the constraint. In most professional services organizations, it's already capable enough. The real question is whether the organization understands its own workflows well enough to support it. Before applying any automation, leaders need to ask a more fundamental question. Do we actually know how work moves through our organization? That assessment, not the technology, determines whether AI becomes an advantage or a liability. Fixing workflows isn't about slowing down innovation. It's about sequencing it correctly. Assess and fix the workflow. Only then apply AI.